Teddy, before we dive in, why don't you share with the listeners what led you to create this podcast?
I think it was a combination of, believe it or not, people coming to me and saying that there might be some interest in it. I might actually be able to give people a reason to listen. I say that carefully and very cautiously because I don't know if I give any people a damn reason to listen to me. But I would hope that through my years of working that maybe some people find me interesting, my thoughts interesting, and maybe more importantly, what I'm attached to, the sport of boxing. That's been around a lot longer than any of us. It's been around longer than any sport there is. Whether you trace it and you track it for 200 years, or you could even go further back, depending on what your abilities to track it are. You go back to the Greeks and wherever. But it's been around longer than baseball, which is obviously known as our national pastime. It's been around longer than anything. And for me, boxing is life. And life is important, and how you get through it is kind of important. And like it or not, that's what I'm attached to. It's, I hate to use such a fancy word as it's a metaphor for life. It's been used too many times, but it is. For me. It is life. And it takes you to different places, So for me, boxing's an entry point to discuss daily stuff. I'm not going to curse, so I'm not going to say daily. Because maybe that gets people's attention. Maybe that's why they'll listen to the first podcast. I hope not. But, if it scares you or if it raises your blood pressure, it's probably something worth talking about. Okay. And sometimes things in life and boxing connected can intrigue you in those kind of ways. And it's about facing things. That's what boxing is. It's about facing things. You know how many people watch fights because in some ways they wish they could face some of the things that the fighters face? In some way, in just some dimensional way. They really do. You know how many guys walk down in a office, it doesn't have to be sports. They walk down in an office and they walk down the hallway and they go to the water fountain and they got their freaking head in the water fountain for freaking 10 minutes. What are they, a camel? No, they're not that thirsty. They're hiding. They're avoiding somebody coming down the hallway that they don't want to see. Really?
I agree.
That they don't want to confront a boss, someone that maybe they should deal with. Maybe it would get them that raise that their wife is kicking their backside over, or whatever it is that they got to get off their chest to move forward in life. Maybe they should be ready for the fight a little better. Maybe they should be fighting instead of submitting. Really? Because that's them laying on the canvas.
Yep.
For me, that's them laying on the freaking canvas. So, listen, that's all I got to offer. I'm sorry. I hope that that's enough. And I hope that it is for people to understand that, good or bad, I understand that stuff. And for me, there's dots all around us, right? This is a way to connect those dots to people, to use the sport that I've spent my whole life in, to connect dots in different ways, to have conversation, to maybe even let some people get helped. And I'm very careful saying that because I don't know. I never want to feel like I'm saying something where I'm giving myself a pat or anything. But, if I have been successful in life, it's been as a parent, which I'm very grateful for. I have 2 beautiful children and a great wife. And it's been in the boxing business where I've been able to help guys get to a certain place. And that means getting through certain things. That means seeing certain things that maybe they didn't see before. Understanding and dealing with things that they weren't understanding and dealing with before. And that I would hope that maybe we can bring to this broadcast. I'm not saying we're Dr. Brothers. All right? Not saying that. But I'm saying that hopefully people will listen to us and say, you know what, I learned something. You know what, that makes sense. You know what? The next time I watch a fight, I can watch a fight and see it a little bit better, a little clearer. Or maybe the next time I freaking walk down the hallway, I won't keep my mouth in a freaking water fountain for 10 minutes. That's it. That's my story.
I heard you say once before that you're not really a fighter until you've faced adversity and overcome adversity in the ring, and you're not really a lawyer until you've tried a case. And I think about that often when I'm dealing with adversity in my own life, or whether it's getting up to train in the morning or whatever the case may be. I often think about that comment because it rings true. When you're facing adversity, like, what are you going to do? Because you face adversity in different areas of your life every day.
You know, let's take boxing. I know a little bit about that, right? That's kind of why I'm sitting in this darn chair. It starts there. All right. So for me, to kind of go over your words, it's not a fight until there is something to overcome, until there is pressure, until there is, whether it's adversity in that form of whatever it is, but something to overcome. If for me, I don't need Webster's dictionary, all right? I'm not trying to say, you know, I didn't go to college or nothing, but I learned some things in life. And for me, I don't think I need Webster's to tell me what the definition of a fight is. I don't know what Webster's definition is. Maybe I'll look it up after we're done the show, and I'll see what it actually says. It could be interesting. And I say that in a serious way, not trying to be funny, but for me, the definition should be overcoming, finding a way. That's for me, that's what a fight is. And it doesn't have to be relegated to inside the ropes. It's like I said earlier, it's whatever your fight is. Whatever it is, you're trying to find a way to get through. And as a father, as a husband, as a man, as a worker, as a kid, whatever it is. And so for me, that fight doesn't start until there is something to deal with. Doesn't start until there is pressure. Doesn't start until there is something, as we said just a moment ago, to defeat, to overcome. And for me, before that, it's an exhibition. If it's in boxing or if it's in sports, it's an athletic sort of exhibition display. It's, you know anything about karate? I took karate a little bit when I was a kid, and the shadow boxing in karate was called kata. It's kind of like if you saw the Karate Kid, where the guy Machio, whatever that kid's name was, he was you know, and he was doing all the form, and Mr. Miyagi, Miyagi, whatever his name, right? I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, I don't remember his name. He was having them do all the form and, you know, going through the self-conscious stuff and, you know, make believe you're blocking things. And to me, everything is kata and shadow boxing until the devil knocks at the door. That's it. Everything, that's what it is. It's Mr. Miyagi saying, oh, Daniel, wax on, wax off. Now, that stuff, that technical stuff, I'm not making fun of it. We're doing it in a fun way, but that's necessary. Mm-hmm. But the application of it doesn't happen until the devil knocks at the door. Whatever that devil represents, whoever that devil may be.
I often tell people it's easy to look good when you're winning a fight and soundly beating a guy, whether it's a fight or a metaphor for life. But how do you look when you've been knocked down once or twice? Are you the guy like Tyson Fury? Are you going to get off the canvas when you look like you're dead and get up before the 10 count and come back strong and win the rest of the round? Or are you just going to
you want to go deeper? You want to go deeper?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury. I've been in the business 40 years, so maybe I can say some of these things that, hey, everyone can argue with me. That's the beauty of this. It's the beauty of America, right? Everything. But maybe he was laying there thinking about what he was going to do. Yeah. Hey, listen, all that matters is what he did. That's all that matters.
He got up.
All that matters is what he did. But if he didn't get up, if he laid there a second longer, that's what would have mattered. He made up his mind. I think there's a good chance that, because some people never saw that before. I've seen it, but some people have never saw it. And I'm not saying it's something you see too often, but some people say, my God, how extraordinary. And it was. I get it. It got your attention. You know, it was like David Copperfield making somebody poof disappear. Like, whoa, like where'd that guy? Wow. But, you know, they think that all of a sudden, oh my God, some extraordinary, he suddenly was out and he's not out. No, he was never quite out, because if he was out, he would have been out.
Yep.
So he was, you know, maybe thinking about whether or not it was worth getting up. And he got up. And that's all that matters. But I'm saying this for people out there. This is my way of connecting the dots to you, that maybe this could be the value of this podcast, is that I'm saying to you that when you've gone through things in your life where you've thought about not getting up, there's still time to get up. That's what I'm trying to say to you, that you are not in a solitary universe where only you have felt that way. Prize fighters have felt that way. And if you can understand that from me, that prize fighters have felt that way, maybe, then you can understand that it doesn't make you weaker than other people, doesn't make you less than other people, that you're in the same place as other people, even prize fighters who you look up to, who do that for a living, who you thought you could never behave like or deal with the things they deal with, that, yeah, you can, that you don't feel any different than they feel. And maybe if I just do that one thing and get that across to people, that that's a truth in life, that you're not the only one who feels that way. Even these gladiators feel that way. But all that matters is what you do in the end, and you have the ability to do the same thing. That thinking about not getting up is not the end of it. That is not the end of it. That's not the prison sentence. Getting up or not getting up is.